Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl, the Brooke Ashley, and today we are here because y'all been blowing my phone up. A girl was just minding her business watching Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, trying to get my notes in order for that recap, when Pastor Jamal Bryant got on his IG Live and set the record straight, okay? He let it be known, you can't bring me the receipts because I already have the cash register. I said, oh, this is absolute craziness. I had to get my binder out because I got my notes and we gonna discuss. I'm going to do the overview of what Jamal talked about in his live, and then at the end, I am going to give my thoughts and my opinions on this whole mess. Okay? Potomac has gone to a new level, and I don't mean that in a good way, but child, I digress. Let's get on into it. Let me open up my binder, child, honey. I had to be real official for you all, honey. I'm trying to give you first lady, but like sexy first lady. Crack myself up. Jamal starts off his live letting us know that he has never been a fan of reality TV, okay? He says that Giselle joining Real Housewives of Potomac has been a bone of contention for him. He was not for it. He was not in support of it. He just thinks that reality TV is a detriment and it is honestly just a mess and it brings nothing of value and it doesn't show us in our best light, okay? He says that he decided he would make a few appearances on the show out of support for Giselle, and because things have gone left, he will never ever again appear on this show. He lets it be known that he went on this show against his better judgment and against his conviction. He says here are some things that require immediate redress. He brings up the photo shoot. Remember the family photo shoot that Giselle wanted the girls and Jamal and all of them to be a part of? That photo shoot. He says that he was not frolicking in Atlanta. He was in South Africa trying to get back home. And then he said he was delayed in Frankfurt, Germany for 6 hours. Because of that delay in Germany, he unfortunately missed the photo shoot, could not be in Potomac with his family. Jamal says that the producers knew that he was stuck in Germany, and instead of showcasing it on the show, they purposely left those details out to make him look bad and to make him look like a neglectful father who just doesn't care. He said that that was not the case whatsoever. He wanted to be there, but could not because he was stuck in Frankfurt, Germany. He also lets it be known that Potomac was shot a year ago. It was shot in 2019, so that some things that we're seeing are out of context. He says that them showing the girls seeming really unhappy with him, that was really blown out of proportion. He says that the girls were upset with him in one particular scene because he had missed their first day of school, and he's never missed their first day of school. He also adds to it that we all know how teenage girls are. It's a bunch of hormones, and we all know that teenage girls can be very moody, and he says that it's because of that, but he assures us that they have a great relationship. They are all daddy's girls, and they visit him in Atlanta frequently, and they love him to pieces, and he loves them. He then addresses Giselle's father, his ex-father-in-law, Curtis Graves, and he says, I have the utmost respect for my father-in-law. He says that although Giselle's father seemed really upset, he says he completely understands why her father was upset, because any father would be angry and have some apprehension to daughter getting back with a man who broke their daughter's heart. He says he completely understands where he's coming from as a father, and that him and Giselle's father have never sat down and had a man-to-man, heart-to-heart conversation about everything that went down. He says again that he has the utmost love and respect, and he will never disrespect his elders and will never disrespect his ex-father-in-law. He then goes on to discuss the young lady that he was dating. He says, yes, I was dating a young lady who lived in New York, and it didn't work out. He says, that's what single people do, they date. He also says, I have not been married for over 10 years, so I did not have a mistress because single people cannot have mistresses. He's absolutely correct with that. He was a single man, he was dating. He then says, if you're going to show some text messages, we'll show all the text messages then. He goes on to say that the young lady was texting him up a storm about visiting him in Atlanta for Memorial Day weekend and also wanting to attend his church's installation. And he said, no, I don't think that's a good idea at all. He then talks about how this young lady wanted him to hire her and she wanted to be on his staff. Again, he says, I let her know, no, that's not a good idea. Jamal also says that this young lady has been chasing clout and attention for some time. He says that she went to 27 bloggers and only 2 bloggers picked up the story. And he also goes on to say that she sent these receipts to everybody on the cast except for Giselle. He says that this woman is trying to crucify and just hurt Giselle. He also says that this woman and her sister are trying to start a magazine, and he's alluding that she's trying to use this press and promotion as a way to get her magazine off the ground. So now the pastor discusses Monique and Chris Samuels directly. He lets it be known that Monique has misdirected anger because she lives in a house with a man who has severe anger issues and is very hostile. I also had a flashback to season 2, episode 3, when we were introduced to Chris's mother, and you know that infamous scene where she says, now didn't I get that heifer straight? I'm sorry, that was TV gold, okay? There was something that I remember specifically from that episode. Monique said something to the effect of, when me and Chris argue, we really go at it. And I thought that that was kind of alarming then, because I said, well, you guys have only been married for like a few years. Y'all shouldn't be having all these problems as newlyweds. But then now I'm just kind of like, I really hope there's no funny business going on. Jamal also says that in this next part of the reunion, we're going to see Chris get really nasty, and he had to be subdued by security because he tried to attack Giselle and Robin. At this point, you can tell Jamal's getting really annoyed just recounting what went down, because he says, you might have had my number, but I have y'all's address. And it's only because of grace that I didn't take it there. And I said, ooh, y'all got the pastor upset. He says, Chris Samuels, I want you to take care of that CTE, and then says that former teammates of Chris Samuels have reached out to him regarding, Chris having anger issues and a whole bunch of problems. The only thing that I have to say about the CTE claims, I was told that with CTE, you can't diagnose it when the person is alive. You have to diagnose it once the person has passed on. So I said, Jamal, just hold off on those CTE claims, child. But he's mad, honey, so... Child, I'm just sitting up here shaking my head because this whole thing is a hot, raggedy mess. But let me just move on, okay? Jamal also says that this is not conjecture. This is not a rumor that he heard. He knows firsthand that Chris Samuels verbally assaulted a black woman in Safeway. He says that he also has the footage of Chris Samuels verbally assaulting this woman in a Safeway, but he won't release the footage. I said, now if Safeway releases the footage of Chris Samuels going off on somebody, I said, This is just, you can't make this up. Like, I really cannot make this up. If you would have told me that season 5 of Potomac would have brought all of this strife, chaos, and confusion, I would have never believed you. I would have never believed you. I mean, I can't believe that I'm sitting up here reporting on this. Jamal also lets it be known that he is in contact with the Samuels pastor. I said I would like to be a fly on the wall to hear their conversation. So Jamal lets it be known that he has never said anything bad or disparaging about the Samuels, so he's confused as to why his name has been brought up in it. He lets it be known that because of Monique's claims, he was bashed on social media, so he had no choice but to respond and try to address all this and clear his name. He says that yes, he has made mistakes and he has had multiple failures in the past, but he is not his past. He just says, I never said I was perfect. Don't come for me. I'm just here to clear my name. He ends the live letting us know that he is still doing the work of the Lord despite all the foolishness. He is feeding 8,000 families who do not have money for groceries this Saturday. And he is also doing a gift drive for 1,000 underprivileged kids. And, he's still trying to make a change and help the community. So here are my thoughts on Jamal Bryant and this whole debacle. I am by no means a fan of Pastor Jamal Bryant, but I can call a spade a spade. He's not a cast member on this show. So his name really shouldn't have been brought up in the first place. And I understand that he has the right to clear his name and set the record straight. Potomac has gone to such a dark place. It is no longer fun to watch. I mean, the show stopped being fun to watch 11 episodes ago, okay? But it has just taken such a twisted turn that I am going to rejoice when all of this is over. Monique's fans, hear me clearly. This isn't shade. This isn't even me just, trying to get at you and just give you a hard time. I don't do that anyway. I mean, I call it like I see it, and a lot of your fans don't like it, but I digress. Monique, I think that you opened up a floodgate bringing out that binder with these receipts from this young lady. That old saying about when you dig a grave for somebody else, you better dig another one too. When you get into that trying to expose somebody, trying to literally hurt somebody, people are now going to come after you. Please don't underestimate the power of church folks. Whether we all like Jamal Bryant or not, Pastor Jamal Bryant has a huge following and he has die-hard supporters. Do not underestimate their determination to get Monique back and try to find skeletons in her closet. I will not be surprised if we find out hearing more tea being spilled about Monique and Chris and their marriage by enemies of the both of them. When you play these games, you cannot expect for you to just say what you want and then other people to not retaliate. At this point, I won't be surprised if the trainer comes out to set the record straight. I won't be surprised if Sharice comes out to set the record straight. Please know that I would say this to any of the ladies had they brought out a binder trying to expose somebody. I feel like Monique and Chris have opened up Pandora's box. Jamal saying that he has the footage of Chris verbally assaulting a woman in Safeway. That does not look good for them. And if Safeway decides to release the footage, it's going to be really bad for them. I'm just saying. Gigi last night was on Facebook responding to people. A friend of mine sent me the screenshot of what Gigi was saying. If you want, I will read it to you. Gigi was responding to someone last night and says, I never spoke to Giselle. I did, however, speak to a former producer who I was cool with. I never said the baby wasn't Chris's, but the trainer's story was true. I actually never said that she cheated with the trainer, but I did tell Chris that the trainer should be fired because he could be a problem. Me and Chris actually had that conversation months before Monique and I stopped being friends. It wasn't until she got pregnant that I'm figuring Chris told Monique about our conversation. I'm guessing it was bothering him about the trainer. See, what people don't know is that Chris told me that he already had suspicions about them for whatever reason. He also told me to not tell Monique that he and I spoke. I'm guessing the baby coming triggered something in him which made him tell her whatever. I still don't know what he told her because she and I never had a conversation about it. However, my intent was not to break them up, but to save them at that time. Had I not said anything, there's no telling what could have transpired. I felt like she was halfway out the door. Lesson learned. Gigi saying all that on Facebook is now going to have people digging in to see the cracks in Monique and Chris's foundation. You know, Gigi said in her live a few months ago that Monique was expressing some discontent at home and didn't seem to be too happy with her marriage to Chris. So, you know, I also wouldn't be surprised if Chris's alleged ex-fiance, Big Mobile, who was there before Monique, you know, come out and decide to tell her story. Because we all know that the alleged story is that Monique was the side to Chris and Big Mobile. So all I'm saying is that when you get in the gutter like this, don't be surprised if folks start coming out the woodwork and trying to destroy your reputation and character. In all seriousness, though, I don't know how Potomac can recover from this season, honestly. I personally am at 95% with I'm not going to be reviewing or watching season 6, especially if this same cast is on. Potomac needs a revamp. I mean, this is craziness. I have never seen a franchise do all this. This is sad. This is really sad, honestly. Y'all, please drop on down in the comments and let me know what you all think. Monique fans, you all know that you are welcome on my page. All I ask is that you keep it respectful. The majority of you guys are respectful. You just say, Brooke, I disagree with you. I just love Monique. It is what it is. That's fine. I don't have a problem with that. It's the few of you who think that you're going to start cursing me out and, you know, getting nasty. I don't tolerate disrespect. I'm kind to everybody. I love all you guys, but I will not tolerate disrespect whatsoever. So if you try to get nasty in those comments, you will be blocked. So again, I ask, keep it respectful, and I will see you all later for Salt Lake City. And Salt Lake City is going to be a little bit late, so just bear with me, okay? Bye, guys.